Hello, my name is Sandra and you're welcome to Sandrata Sew. So in today's video tutorial, I'll be showing you how I made this simple flay dress. So if this is something you would like to see how it was made, keep on watching and let's get started. So first of all, I'll be folding my fabric into four. So what I'll be doing is that I'll be marking out my starting line. Your fabric should be folded into four. So from my starting line, I'll take down the length of the dress. I'll be taking away about 10 inches from the length of the dress. That is going to be the gathered part at the down of the dress. So we are just cutting out the upper part first. I'll be taking down the shoulder measurement divided by 2 and the neck width of 3 inches. I'll be coming down here by 1 inch shoulder slope. I'll go ahead and connect it. At this point here, I'll be marking out the armhole measurement divided by 2 and I'll come down by that shoulder measurement divided by 2 again. I'll connect it like that. And here I'll be marking out my bust measurement divided by 4. I'll go ahead and add about sewing allowance. So from here, I'll just go ahead and take it out. It's a flay dress, so that's just it. I'm going ahead to create the armhole. If you have a French curve, this is where it's going to be needed. For me, I'm using my free hand, so this is the front armhole curve. So what I'll be doing next is that I'll be making a neck width of 3.5 inches and a depth of 1 inch for the back and about 3.5 for the front. Remember, I'm marking directly on my fabric, so when I'm sewing it with the facing, I'll be taking away half inch. So that is it. I'll go ahead and create my circle neckline. It's a circle neckline actually, so I'll just mark it like that and I'll add about 0.5 inches from joining the shoulder together. So after cutting it out, I'll just place my front and cut out the front neck and the armhole. So what I'll be doing here is that I'll measure what I have at this down area. I have about 28 inches I mean to say. So this 28 inches, I'm going to be cutting it out into 4 because the 28 inches is just for the front piece. So I need to have about times 2 of what I have down there in order for me to make that gathers. I hope you understand what I mean or what I'm saying. So this is the fabric that I'll be putting down there. I want to measure it out to check if it is gonna be enough. So I have 28. If I multiply it by 2, it should be around 56. I think it should be 56, but here I have about 54. I'm shorting 2 inches, which is this one is going to work for me. So I'll just fold it into 4. I'll take away half inch for joining it to the upper part of the dress, and I'll be placing my measuring tape at the 30 inches I have for the upper part. To complete my dress, the dress length is 41 and I'll be marking out the 41 inches like that. I'll go ahead and add 1 inch for hemming allowance. So what I'll do now is that I'll measure what I have here, which is about 13 inches, and I'll go ahead and cut it out again. I'm cutting this out too because I don't have enough fabric. If you have enough fabric to just cut it out once, perfect. For me, I don't have enough fabric, so I'm just cutting out 2. So I'll go ahead and cut this out. So I now have 2. I'll just set it aside. So now let's cut out the sleeve. I folded my fabric into 4. The sleeve length I want is 7 inches, but you can see I have 9 because I want to fold it with 2 inches. So what I'll be doing here is that I'll go ahead and mark out the armhole measurement divided by 2. I'll just create a straight line like that, me refolding my fabric to make sure that it's nice and flat. So I'll just mark it out straight like that. That is the armhole measurement divided by 2, which is 8 for me. And here I'll be adding my sleeve round divided by 4, plus 1 inch. I mean to say bicep divided by 2. My sleeve round divided by 2, not by 4. And here I'll go ahead and create my armhole curve. I'll add about 0.5 inches there for joining it to the dress. I'll go ahead and cut it out and also notch the center. I'll set my sleeve aside. So what I'll be cutting out is the facing. I'll be cutting out facing for the front and facing for the back. So that is what I'll be doing. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and also turn on the notification bell so that you get notified each time I post a new video. So here is me cutting out the facing. If you're not a beginner, you will know how to cut out a facing and sew a facing. But if you're a beginner, this is just it. I'll just go ahead and cut it out. This is called facing. I'm going to be turning the neck. I'll be turning the neck with the facing. So what I'll do is that I'll place the facing, the right side of the facing to the right side of the dress, and I'll go ahead and pin it down. This is for my front dress, so I'll just sew the neck round like that. And for the back, there is going to be a little work at the back because we have a slit and the rubber with button at the back. So what I'll be doing is that I'll get my dress right side and I'll get the facing right side. So right sides together, and I'll go ahead and pin it just like I did on the front. So after pinning it down, I'll go ahead to get the center. That is the center back. And this is it. I'll figure out the center back because I folded my fabric into 2 to get the center. I'll go ahead and mark out the center like that with chalk, and I'll be transferring this mark to my facing. So that is what I'll be doing. I'll place it like that, keep the facing very well, and I'll just go ahead and transfer that line that I have on my main fabric to the facing. I'll now create that line just like that, and I'll be cutting out about 1/2 inch elastic, and I'll just fold it in like that. You see the folded part is going in. Just watch carefully and you'll get what I'm doing. So what I'll be doing here now is that I'll make sure that I have allowance at the up and I'll have allowance in. I'll sew it like this, come down like this, go up, and when I get to this point, I'll make sure that I put in this elastic so that I won't be stitching on top of it, and I'll complete the neck. So this is it. I've finished sewing it. As you can see, I hope you can see the seams. So what I'll be doing now is that I'll be opening this my center back. I'll go ahead and open it up, and when opening it up, be careful so that you won't have to cut your seam. So this is it, and here I'll be removing this elastic. You see I didn't sew to it, so I'll go ahead and notch this place, and I'll go ahead and notch this place. I'll clip the neck round. I'll clip it now so that when I turn it out, it will be nice and flat. So when I turn it to the right side, I'll have something like this. If you watch it very well, you see that it's coming out perfectly okay. So this is it when I turn it to the right side, but I won't be turning it to the right side now because I want to join the shoulders together. So what I'm going to be doing now is that I'll get the shoulder of the back seam and the shoulder of the front piece. So this is the front of the dress. I've already sewn the facings together, so I'll get the shoulder of the back. This I'm placing this right side facing right sides. So what I'll be doing is that I'll be flipping the facing of the back. I'll place it. So I'll go ahead and flip it like that, and I'll pin it down. So sorry for the noise. My kids, they are on holidays, so they are here disturbing me and making noise. So I'll just place them like this. I have 4. and I'll go ahead and stitch it down. I'll do the same thing on the other shoulder as well. So after sewing it down, I'll clip this edge here and I'll go ahead and turn it to the right side. You see how neat this looks? So what you'll be seeing here is that you notice this is the inseam and this is the outer part of the pattern. It's just perfectly okay. So what I'll be doing is that I'll go ahead to iron it, and I'll be using a hemming gum to hold the facings together to the main fabric, so that the facing will have to be coming out since I'm not going to be top stitching to it. So that is it. I'll use my hemming gum to hold them down. So after ironing it down, I'll go ahead to get the sleeve. That center of the sleeve that I notched initially, I'll place it to the shoulder seam. I'll open the shoulder seams like that, and I'll go ahead and pin it down. So I'll go ahead and pin it down. And what I'll be doing is I'll go ahead and pin the sleeves down. So after pinning the sleeves down, at this area here in the front pattern, I have a little allowance there. My sleeve wasn't enough, but it doesn't really affect my outfit. So I'll just go ahead and hem the sleeve. So after hemming the sleeve and attaching the sleeve to the dress, I have this. I also ironed it so that it will be neat or neater. So what I'll be doing is that I'll be holding them down like this, and I'll go ahead and stitch down the seams, as in the side seams. I added 1 inch when I was drafting this pattern, so I'll go ahead and shape it out using 1/2 inch. I'll do the same thing on the other side as well. So after shaping the dress down, this is the upper part of the dress. I'll get the down part and I'll join them together, right side facing right side. I'll go ahead and hem it. So after doing that, I'll get the side seams and I'll place the side seam of my down to the side seam of my front. I'll place it right side facing right sides together. So I'll go ahead and pin the other side as well. The side seams together, right side facing right side, as you see me doing so. I'll go ahead and pin it, and what I'll be doing now is that I'll go to my machine. I'll gather the down as I sew. I'll gather the down as I sew. So after stitching it down, I have this. The dress is already done. We are done with the dress. So what I'll be doing is that I'll go ahead and give it a good press, and at the center back here, I'll go ahead and attach a button to it, and that's just it. This is the final look of the dress, and of this little tote bag, the tutorial for it is coming up next. Until my next video, happy sewing.